Tell me about the pregnancy. How did you guys find out, and what did they say about that?
Whether she just found out she was pregnant.
Yes.
Oh, she called us and told us
Okay.
that she was pregnant again. And it's something that, with her health, she had problems with Bella, she had problems with Celeste, and we were worried about her health.
Hmm.
Now, I understand you want to try to have a boy, but we're worried about your health before you have another baby. And they were trying, from what we were told, they were trying to have another baby. And then when she was pregnant, she had, she every time she was pregnant, she did something big for Chris. This surprise, go upstairs and read this, and she had shirts made for everybody. Said, we're expecting again or something like that. It said, and he came walking in the house because she had on video. She's got to have 6,000 videos and pictures on her phone. And you see him come in. He was all excited and everything else, and I don't know. And then that Monday when she came back, she told Chris had told us that she had a sealed letter. So he told her, I didn't. This was enough because we kept asking Shannon, "What is it? What is it?" "I don't know yet, Dad. I don't know yet." And we know she went to the doctor before she left. She said, I don't know. I don't know." And then he said that she had a sealed envelope or a sealed letter from the doctor's office telling them what the sex was of the baby. So I never got to see that from her.
So who prompted the having a third child? Was that her idea? Was he pushing for it? Do you know?
They were trying to have a boy. He wanted to have a boy.
Okay.
Even though Celeste was a tomboy.
Yeah.
She was a...
When was the last time you talked to Shannon?
Before she left. I can look at my phone and tell you exactly.
Before she left for
Arizona.
Okay.
And then I just texted her, told her to have a safe trip back. And
how often would you talk to her?
Every day.
Every day?
Every day we'd FaceTime. And didn't miss a day. If I missed a day, I was going crazy without seeing them kids.
But that's when she was at home? Is that what you said?
I FaceTimed them even when Chris was there. So if she wasn't there, I still FaceTimed.
Okay.
I FaceTimed almost every night unless I got home late from work and the babies were sleeping.
Okay. But you didn't talk to Shannon when she was on trips, generally?
Some we just text.
Okay.
I mean, like I said, I never really bothered her when they were out. I mean, she'd take pictures of everybody and she'd be on, live and do all that. I usually never bothered her when she was there. I text her and how you doing? Is everything all right?
Okay. But you'd FaceTime every day to talk to the kids?
Every day to talk to the kids.
Okay. Even if she wasn't there?
Even if she wasn't there.
Gotcha.
Like I said, that Sunday I did call. We did FaceTime them and they were, I asked Chris how everything going good. Bella said something about mommy coming home. I said, yeah, she's not coming home till midnight and she'll be home tomorrow. And
do you remember what time on Sunday you FaceTimed?
They were eating dinner, so it had to be about 7 o'clock our time.
7 o'clock
North Carolina time. Because they usually eat around 5 o'clock, and Shannon is kids eat at this time. Even when they came out North Carolina, I said, Shannon, you got to give them a little bit of break because it's different time now.
Right.
So now you're giving them food at 3 o'clock, and they're used to being eating at 5 o'clock. So you got to give them a little bit of break. So yeah, she was. I mean, kids took naps at 12 o'clock every day. I mean, she had them on a great schedule. They did it.
And nothing out of the ordinary on the FaceTime on Sunday?
It didn't. Chris is Chris. I mean, did nothing. Nothing ever gave me any kind of a thing that there was a problem with at that house.
What did you think when you first heard that people couldn't get a hold of Shannon?
Well, when she say, "Can you text her and find out what's going on?" You know, especially they seen him pull up, they'd open the door and they'd run out, and they wouldn't run out like kids do.
Right.
You know, they don't know the street.
Mm-hmm.
You know. So yeah, if Shannon did come home late that night, she probably did lock that and put that across.
Okay.
And when they told me that that was on, the back door was locked from the inside. The only way she got out would be the garage. They're like, well, she could have. No. My daughter's not climbing over no fence with no kids. My daughter is like my wife. I'd be arrested and he'd be arrested before she left that house. So I mean, that's just the way they are. They're Italian. So yeah, when they told me that, I understand what they had to do. They had to go in their steps and do all that. But when I lived out here for so long, I mean, I know everybody's routine here, and she doesn't do it. And then they're saying, well, maybe somebody came in the garage and this and that. She doesn't open that garage door until the kids are in the car, because they'll take off.
Right.
So that door never gets opened. I was like, well, everybody was in that garage. He would have had to get her from the inside, and they still would have had to go outside, and Nate's camera would have caught them then. And that's what really, I gave these cops some kinds of earfuls. So sometimes it wasn't pleasant, but they listened to me, and I was there. I know it. And that first day when they said she was missing,
The story began with a short piece of prison footage that reportedly surfaced online in early 2026. At first, many people ignored it, believing it was just another recycled clip tied to the case surrounding Chris Watts. But within hours, true crime communities and social media pages began discussing the video intensely, claiming the footage showed behavior inside the prison that felt unsettling and noticeably different from the quiet image he had maintained for years behind bars. What immediately caught viewers' attention wasn't a violent outburst or dramatic confrontation. According to those discussing the footage, it was something far more subtle, and to many, more disturbing because of that. In the clip, he reportedly appeared restless during a routine prison movement, pacing repeatedly while avoiding eye contact with both inmates and guards nearby. Some viewers claimed his body language looked tense and emotionally disconnected, while others focused on moments where he allegedly appeared agitated for only a few seconds before suddenly regaining composure. As clips and screenshots spread online, people began replaying the footage repeatedly, searching for meaning in every movement. Some believed the video showed signs that years of confinement were beginning to affect him psychologically. Others argued that viewers were overanalyzing ordinary prison behavior simply because of the public fascination surrounding the case. But according to online discussions, one detail in particular reportedly unsettled many viewers: the expression on his face during a brief moment when he appeared to glance directly toward the camera. Some described it as empty. Others claimed it looked emotionally detached, almost as though years behind bars had slowly stripped away any visible reaction. If you're already drawn into this story, make sure you like this video and subscribe, because what unfolds next goes far beyond a single piece of footage. Because once the video began circulating, attention quickly shifted from what people saw on camera to what prison staff may have been noticing long before the public ever saw the clip. And according to reports, that's where the story became even more disturbing. As the prison footage continued spreading online, the reactions became more intense with every passing day. What started as a short clip quickly turned into one of the most discussed true crime topics across social media, with viewers replaying the video repeatedly while trying to interpret every visible detail involving Chris Watts. The more people watched, the more divided opinions became. Some viewers focused on the pacing seen in the footage, claiming it looked restless and unusually tense for someone who had reportedly spent years maintaining a calm and controlled image behind bars. Others pointed to brief moments where his facial expression allegedly shifted, arguing that the clip revealed emotional instability hiding beneath the surface. According to online discussions, even the way he moved through the prison corridor became a subject of speculation, with some interpreting the behavior as signs of growing psychological strain after years of confinement. At the same time, others pushed back against those theories, warning that viewers were likely projecting assumptions onto ordinary prison behavior because of the notoriety surrounding the case. They argued that short clips without context can easily create misleading narratives, especially when millions of people begin analyzing the same few seconds frame by frame. But despite those warnings, public fascination only continued growing. According to reports circulating online, attention soon shifted toward what prison staff may have privately observed before the footage ever surfaced. Rumors began spreading that some guards had allegedly noticed subtle behavioral changes over time, moments of emotional withdrawal, agitation during routine interactions, or long periods of silence that reportedly stood out compared to his earlier years behind bars. None of those claims were officially confirmed publicly, but they added another layer of speculation surrounding the footage. If you're following how quickly this story is escalating, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because what comes next moves beyond public reaction and into the reported concerns inside the prison itself. Because once people started wondering whether the footage reflected something deeper, the focus shifted toward a more unsettling question. Had prison staff already been quietly watching these changes happen in real time? As the footage continued circulating across the internet, attention reportedly shifted away from the video itself and toward what prison staff may have been witnessing behind the scenes long before the public ever saw the clip. According to discussions spreading online, some guards allegedly viewed the behavior captured on camera as unusual, not because of any dramatic incident, but because it reportedly differed from the quiet and controlled routine Chris Watts had maintained for years behind bars. Rumors circulating through true crime communities claimed that officers inside the facility had privately noticed subtle changes over time. Some reports alleged he had become more withdrawn during routine interactions, while others described periods of visible frustration followed by long stretches of emotional silence. According to these accounts, what unsettled certain staff members most was the inconsistency. One day he reportedly appeared calm and detached, while on another he allegedly seemed restless and emotionally exhausted. As people replayed the footage frame by frame, small details became major talking points online. Viewers focused on posture, pacing, facial expressions, and brief interactions with guards, searching for hidden meaning in moments that lasted only seconds. Some believed the footage showed someone mentally struggling under the psychological pressure of long-term confinement. Others argued the public was reading far too deeply into behavior that could easily be explained by ordinary prison routines. Meanwhile, prison experts and commentators discussing the case pointed out how years of isolation, strict structure, and constant public scrutiny can slowly affect communication and behavior over time. They explained that long-term incarceration can sometimes create emotional detachment or unusual coping mechanisms that may appear unsettling to outsiders watching from a distance. If you're still watching, make sure you hit that subscribe button, because what happens next pushes this story into even more disturbing territory. Because once the internet began debating whether the footage revealed emotional decline, manipulation, or something else entirely, one chilling question started dominating the conversation. Was this simply prison changing a person over time? Or was the camera capturing glimpses of something far darker beneath the surface? As public fascination with the footage intensified, the conversation surrounding Chris Watts reportedly evolved into something much larger than a single prison clip. What people were debating now wasn't just behavior captured on camera. It was the deeper question of whether years behind bars can fundamentally change a person, or whether certain traits simply remain hidden beneath the surface, waiting for moments like these to bring them back into public focus. Online discussions reportedly became increasingly divided. Some viewers believed the footage showed signs of emotional instability and psychological decline after years of isolation, routine, and permanent confinement. They pointed to moments where his pacing appeared erratic, his expressions seemed detached, and his reactions to those around him felt emotionally disconnected. Others strongly disagreed, arguing that viewers were projecting assumptions onto ordinary prison behavior because of the notoriety attached to the case. At the same time, true crime commentators and prison analysts discussing the footage reportedly highlighted how difficult it is to interpret behavior from short clips without full context. They explained that long-term incarceration can affect body language, communication, and emotional responses in ways outsiders may not fully understand. But despite those explanations, people continued replaying the footage frame by frame, convinced that something unsettling was visible beneath the surface. One moment from the clip reportedly became especially controversial online. A brief glance toward the camera that some viewers described as emotionally empty, while others dismissed it as meaningless. Yet that single moment was analyzed repeatedly across social media, with theories spreading rapidly about what it supposedly revealed. The more the footage circulated, the more the line between observation and interpretation began to blur. If this story has you hooked, make sure you like, share, and subscribe, because the final chapter leaves viewers with one haunting question that still doesn't have a clear answer. Because once people believe they've seen signs of change inside someone behind prison walls, it becomes almost impossible to stop wondering what's really happening when the cameras aren't rolling. In the end, the 2026 prison footage reportedly revealed far less certainty than many people expected. What began as a short clip showing Chris Watts inside the facility quickly transformed into a massive online debate filled with interpretation, speculation, and unanswered questions. For some viewers, the behavior captured on camera reinforced the belief that years behind bars had done little to change the disturbing image already associated with the case. For others, the footage appeared to show the visible effects of isolation, routine, and psychological pressure slowly wearing someone down over time. The most unsettling part for many wasn't any single action shown in the clip. It was the uncertainty surrounding what people believed they were seeing. Some claimed the pacing, distant expressions, and emotionally detached moments revealed signs of deeper instability. Others insisted the public was reading far too much into ordinary prison behavior, simply because the case itself continues to carry enormous emotional weight years later. As discussions spread across social media and true crime communities, the footage reportedly became less about the actual video and more about the larger question it raised. Can someone truly change after years behind bars? Or do certain parts of a person remain untouched, no matter how much time passes? That question fueled endless debates, with no clear answer ever emerging. Meanwhile, the rumors surrounding prison staff observations only added more mystery. Though none of the claims were officially confirmed publicly, the idea that guards may have noticed subtle changes before the footage surfaced kept speculation alive. Every small detail, from body language to brief facial expressions, continued being analyzed by viewers searching for hidden meaning. If you've made it this far, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because stories like this remind us that sometimes the most disturbing questions aren't the ones with obvious answers. They're the ones that continue lingering long after the footage ends. And in this case, that lingering question remains impossible to ignore. Was the camera simply capturing the psychological reality of life behind bars? Or did viewers glimpse something far darker still hiding beneath the surface?